About 2 days prior to Joe Biden selecting Senator Kamala Harris as his vice president pick, a statement was released to the press titled, "More than 100 black male leaders signed statement of solidarity requiring a black woman vice president, hashtag win with black women." Now, this statement was plastered all over mainstream media in which they were applauding these so-called 100 black male leaders for standing in solidarity with black women to get a black female vice president. Now, I'm not going to waste time reading this article off to you because it's really a whole lot of foolishness and it's nothing more than a Kamala Harris fluff piece. That's all this was. It was a statement more so in order to get black Americans on board with the fact that Kamala Harris was going to be vice president. They knew she was going to be the vice president pick before it came out publicly. That's why this statement was released prior to Joe Biden making his selection. But before I lose my train of thought, what I really wanted to talk about is the way in which the modern black celebrity of today is really nothing more than a Democratic tool to walk black Americans off of a political cliff. As you can see with the first two names on the list, Sean Diddy Combs and Charlamagne the God, these individuals have adopted the lingo and the rhetoric surrounding reparations and a black agenda in order to gain your trust and to make you believe that on a mainstream level, they are championing what you want and what you need and that they are for you. But when push comes to shove, they don't toe the line for you as it pertains to reparations and a black agenda. They sell you short for tokenisms, symbolisms. A few months ago, Diddy just got done saying on Instagram Live that the Democratic Party was going to have to come forth with tangibles in order to gain the black vote. We want something for our vote. You will not take advantage of us anymore. This was Diddy's stance.
Yeah, the black vote is not going to be for free. You know, we're going to have to see some promises. You know, we're going to have to understand what kind of deal we're getting out of. What are we getting in return for our vote? Because nothing has changed in America for Black America. And in order for us to vote for Biden, we can't be taken for granted like we always are because we're supposed to be Democrats or because people are afraid of Trump. It's whoever's going to take care of our community. Our vote is not for free. Whoever wants to make a deal, it's business at this point. You know, we can't trust politicians, you know, so we want to know very clearly, just like Trump made it clear that he wanted to build a wall. Biden needs to make it clear that he's going to change the lives and quality of life of black and brown people, or else he can't get the vote. And I will hold the vote hostage if I have to.
But when push came to shove, he has sold you short for symbolism. How does having a black female vice president close the racial wealth gap? How does that get you reparations? How does that solve any of the issues plaguing the black community? You had Barack Obama in office for 8 years, and he gave you the middle finger and his behind to kiss. If you got nothing from him, what in the world makes you think Kamala Harris, of all so-called black women, will do anything for you in a role that's lesser than being the president of the United States? It makes no logical sense, but that's what Diddy sold you out for. Now, the second name on the list, Charlamagne the God, he has done an excellent job of positioning himself as a so-called black leader in the eyes of mainstream media. He has done a masterful job of having people like Dr. Claude Anderson onto the Breakfast Club, Minister Louis Farrakhan, and a host of other highly respected black figures on the Breakfast Club in order to gain political cachet with you, in which you are now walking around with the sentiment that Charlamagne is down. Occasionally he'll speak on reparations and he'll utter a little something about a black agenda, and you think to yourself, man, Charlamagne is really putting on for us on the mainstream. But just like Diddy, when push comes to shove, he sold you short for Kamala Harris, and he did it from the beginning. Now really think about this for a moment. Who remembers the interview between Monique and Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club? How many of you remember how hard Charlamagne was going at Monique in defense of Netflix. Charlamagne the God was attempting to rip Monique's soul out of her body. You would have thought Monique was running for office. But when he had Kamala Harris on the show, 3 times might I add, each time he had her on the show, he was not giving her softball questions, he was giving her t-ball questions, and she was still striking out, talking foolishness about how she was getting high in college, listening to Snoop Dogg and Tupac, despite the fact that she went to college in the 80s. She was fumbling her interview so bad that Charlamagne and the rest of the minions on The Breakfast Club went on to MSNBC to cape for her and to clean up for how bad that interview went.
That was the appearance on the so-called world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club.
7 years after she graduated from undergrad, Snoop Dogg's debut album was released, and 5 years after she graduated from undergrad, Tupac's album was released.
So she doesn't remember what she was listening to when she was smoking.
DJ Envy,
Yes.
did Fox News lie on your interview?
Absolutely, positively lied. I mean, we wanted to humanize her, not just talk about politics, talk about what she likes, what she does. And I asked what she listens to. And she said she listens to Snoop Dogg and Tupac. At the same time, my co-host was still talking about the marijuana. And it was just a funny exchange. But she was actually answering me, and people took it that she was answering Charlamagne and said she was lying, which is not true.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't there that day, so I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. Because after you see everything on social media,
Right.
I wasn't there, so I was like, wow, she totally lied.
And I want everybody to know they're doing the work of Fox News. The black Twitter people you see that are going in on Kamala because of this, y'all are doing the work of Fox News. Fox News got y'all.
That's why
they got
it's
y'all.
important to listen to things yourself, because then
Listen
I
to the
had to go
full
and listen
thing.
to it myself
Absolutely.
to hear what really happened.
I think that is something that radio and the news have in common, which is learn with your own ears before you make up your mind, which is why, again, we're seeing 21 candidates stop by the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee, DJ Envy, thank you.
Thank you.
And then Charlamagne goes out of his way in another interview to just publicly endorse Kamala Harris as president altogether, despite the fact that Kamala Harris already told black people she's not giving you anything.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
Yet and still, Charlamagne the God and now Diddy are presenting you Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as viable figures to vote for to become president of the United States, because somehow this is going to be a good thing for black folks. These two brothers are nothing more than the tools of white supremacy, whose chief purpose is to keep you politically stuck on stupid, blindly voting for the Democratic Party without getting anything in return. Now, in closing, I just want to continue to go down this list a little more because, once again, mainstream media was really propping this list up, talking about how these are black male leaders. I didn't know Chris Paul, the NBA player Chris Paul, was a black male leader. I didn't know that Ty Dolla $ign was a black male leader. Nick Cannon is a black male leader. At this stage in the game, Nick Cannon has converted to Judaism. If anything, he is a Jewish leader at this point. Cedric the Entertainer, black male leader. Omar Epps, Dougie Fresh, Anthony Anderson, JB Smoove, I'll Be Sure. I'll Be Sure is a black leader? Really? I had no idea that he was our modern day Malcolm X. If this is not proof positive that the overwhelming majority of black celebrities are not working in your best interest, then I don't know what is. So with all that being said, I'm going to close out today's video. So make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. Make sure you follow me on social media. All social media links will be pinned in the description below. And for those of you who have been subscribed for quite some time now, make sure you show some love on the Patreon for only $5 a month. That will help put me in position to be able to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. So until the next video, peace.